小さいね、靴の前の船のが。
小さい。
これ日本から買ったんじゃないの？
You need to turn it to the left, and it will be open. Okay? John's. That's the name of our capital, St. John's. Now, in St. John's, we basically have 3 harbors right here in the city. The ship that you guys are on, Carnival Liberty, that is called their Heritage Keep here. The one adjacent to Easy Norwegian, that is on the Neva Street Pier. Now, we're actually traveling on Long Street, which is supposed to be the longest street in St. John's. Initially, on the left of the vehicles, IGA supermarket, and there's a reason why I'm identifying that to you, and later on in the trip I'll tell you why. IGA is the supermarket. Immediately on the right is what you see. That is the minute consciously. And you know what, guys? We have approximately a population of 80,000 and about 50,000 vehicles. So it's a bit ridiculous. It's a bit ridiculous. But this building that you see immediately over here, on the right of the vehicle, that is the General Post Office. Now, we don't use a lot of mail system simply because cable and wire tech, Mr. Harrison, out of the United States, was designed by him. And apparently, this building was actually used as, the bottom floor was used as a high court, and the top floor, plantation estate, pertaining to the slaves who were actually living on the island, okay? Now, also, one of the oldest structure that you will was actually destroyed by a fire. It was once reconstructed again. It was destroyed by an earthquake in 1843, and then this was actually reconstructed. As a matter of fact, inside of the church is actually dated back to the late 16th century. As a matter of fact, I saw two more, but also in terms of development of their friendship. Now, this building coming up right here on their left, landline in terms of telephone and electricity. I will show you their pumping station as we go further up on the trip. Investigating today. I've never been in there, but one of these days I'd really like to go in there just to see how it looks now. What I've actually done is to actually, what should I say, ease the force of the wind that would be coming towards the city at that point in time. So that is what these trees were actually built for. Now we're just going to take a simply detour. We're going to get back on the road, but just a simply detour. And what am I going to show you guys is the government office complexes to the cityscape. Now, there are Catholic churches that choose. This right here is the Prime Minister's office. This is the Prime Minister's suite. And if you look back here, you might the Fines Institute, these cluster of homes right here. These are for people who are less fortunate in society, who don't, our neck was decapitated. Now, the reason for doing that was to deter the slaves from ever attempting. Now, the Antigua sugar factory was basically constructed in the late 1800s. This is the remnants of it. As my wind turbine was done by the cows, we used to pull it, and they had a turbine machine inside where you should actually grind the sugarcane. This was the modern sugarcane factory. These two tanks back here is where they store molasses. We have an annual rainfall of 45 inches per annum. What are we going to do? So he looked at everything that he had to offer. He says, well, all these poles, they'll turn off the power. So what the government will do is to turn off the power. And so for that reason, we will not have the capacity of 11,000 guests. There'll be temporary seating added by terrorism would strike an alert. So it's going to be basically these bulls were actually imported out of India, and I think there's a ritual about these bulls right here. So if you go back to India, please, let's still let them know this. Now, the country have the ability, and that's how sugarcane actually looks when they're growing, before you cut them down. And here in this area, in terms of why we don't know. Bear in mind though, water is a problem. Now, over the last 3 years or so, we've been experiencing good weather in terms of in the evening. I don't want to do it. But the reality is though, we do import at least 90% of food is imported out of US. UK. Animals never survive, guys, because they die from hoof disease. These birds that you see, what they do, they pick all the ticks off of the animals. Now these right here, these are just sheep right here. These are sheep. All the tails are down. Now, see, you know the pitted dates on the California, but because it's so dry around here, it is not plumb and juicy as those pitted dates. It's really a dry fruit though. Now those trees were considered a nuisance over the last, let's say, 10 years or so. And on Sunday, it's a church day, it's a relaxed day, it's a family day, it's always quiet, everything is locked down. And that's how it's operated in Antigua. Now, education, I tell you, the same problem is happening in the United States, we're having the same problem around here. Did you notice? Now, just a little bit more about the school sector. What they will do is to save their money, and upon saving their money, they would actually build the bottom floor of their house. They would leave the steel protruded up for the second floor, and then after that, you know, whenever they accumulate some more money, then they would go and finish the second floor. So, you know, these individuals, the thing about the sugar mint is the color of it. It's made out of a green stone that is actually one of the soil types, limestone in this area, but the color of it is quite. what they've actually did is to carve it out from the ground. There's where they carve it out from. Yeah, there's where they get it to actually build this church. I'm going to show you next area where they got it from. But those small bricks, they were brought down from the UK, and they were used as amazing view of this harbor right here. And where we're going to venture up, we're going to venture our way up right on top of the hill, and you guys will have an opportunity to look down. And what I could do is to just pull off just a bit so you can take a quick Photoshop. Oh, as a matter of fact, guys, let's do it better than that. I'll give you 3 minutes. No, you don't have to leave the vehicle if you don't want to. But for anyone who wants to capture a nice photo, you could just make your way up to the step.
彼女、これ写真撮ってる。
First stop is going to be at Blockhouse or Fort Blockhouse. That will give you the opportunity to see Eric Clapton's mansion and give you a nice ocean view. Also, it's a social barrier in society. I mean, who's rich, who's poor, it doesn't matter. And 3 days stretch and go retrieve them in the afternoon. After that, I don't need to do it again. In the morning, you'll see these animals tracing their way up, making their way up to the grazing.
This area up here consists of Shirley's Heights, Blockhouse,
along with the Nelson's Dockyard, and we're going to have a couple of minutes around here, so we might utilize the restroom stop. Also, I'll...
あ、そう。
私書いたの見てたもん。
あ、そう。
チェック10、20人。
あ、いや、それチェック書いてたけどね。
20人分だったらおかしい。10人で2ドルだから。違うか。この島がこういうとこだっていうさ。
うん。ちょっと待ってよ。取ってあげたら、押してあげたら、向こうの。Kind of little.これすごかったね。
え？どれ触ったの？ もんね、このショッピングモールね。
うん。
お金やっぱり1000ドルぐらい持ってくるよ。
Eagle.
じゃあ最初の
今のかかってもいいじゃん。
買おうか。CD？
だって ね、これいいよね。
うん、そういいよ。
Actually, guys, this was the guardhouse right here, okay? And basically, the occupancy royal entry court is the response for maintaining the full guns on the gun platform.
Stop and have a look. Hello. On your way back, stop and have a look.
あ、ここも綺麗な
綺麗なとこ。
ビューだ。
もっと近づいたね。
綺麗。
うん。カリブの景色だね。
ノーバッテリーみたい。
さっき充電したんだけどね。
ノーバッテリーじゃない。ノーメモリーやつ。
オッケー。メモリーある。持ってるよ。
バッテリーを充電したり。
うん。
Now, what we're looking down at, we're looking at literally 3 harbors. Now, the first harbor, where we're looking straight down at, is called.
呼ぶの持ってるよ。どうも。
The last harbor that we look further over there, that is called the Fountain Harbor. Now, let's suppose you're in the Fountain Harbor. Now, if you look up there, you see the small aircraft? This is like a. What else, guys? These hills right here, where we.
Oh, you went the wrong way. That's the wrong way.
Yeah,
You know what you mean?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah?
When the man take the picture, man.
Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Oh. Okay. ちょっとよ。だからね。だから知ってたんだ。カラオケ。
Also, what was happening? Language. And so they were trying to mock the English or trying to learn the language. And so it was something that we picked up along our way before we learned standard English. It's something similar to what is considered as Ebonics in the United States. Nevertheless, if you take a look, right now we're looking at Falmouth Harbor, beautiful Falmouth Harbor. We see a lot of yachts. My one is in the back there. I left them this morning cleaning it up though. I told them I wanted to go sailing over the weekend, so I got a couple of crew just cleaning it up, make sure everything is going fine with it. So I'll pass back this evening and check on it, make sure it's real polished and nice though. But in this area, here's where we have the Sailing Week activities. And as I was telling you guys, it's like a week of activities in the end of April to the beginning of May. As a matter of fact, 2007 is supposed to be, we're going to be hosting the Cricket World Cup, and also we will be hosting our 50th anniversary of Carnival. So it's supposed to... Oh, look at this one. Oh, this is a nice one. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to trade mine for this one. I know, I'm going to trade it and buy this one. Wow. That is real nice though. That is nice yacht. It's a nice yacht. Wow. Individuals who can afford to buy these Range Rovers would bring them from Europe. Particularly European cars are a bit more expensive. I don't know why though. But the European cars, you have a couple of them around here. Stood up Shirley Heights and we look down here. So yeah, it's a nice harbor, it's a nice yacht.
John, do they do any commercial fishing here?
They do. Find some plantains, some short, fat stuff. I've seen them here the other day when I passed through. Okay, these right here, what we call buggermans. Those fat ones, see they look different, they're just fat and they're short. Banana grows like, that's what it looks like, it's on the tree right there. It's a banana tree, guys. Now these are all the different students from there. Okay guys, also there's a natural spring water on top of these hills right here. These hills, this whole area is called the Signal Hill. We'll get a better view of it. And also there's a historical monument just on top of natural plants, and there's a cluster of them within this area right here. Now this strip right here, or this drive, is called the Fig Tree Drive because of the...
Hey Jake, that's for you. That's what I said? Hurry up, take off, go. Come on, go.
Adventurous.
Oh, thank you, Sean.
No problem, guys. So that's just the next activity that we have right here. It's called the Escala. Yeah.
Just to slow you guys down.
Well, man, I don't know. Oh boy, but to me, there's no need. Yeah, but there's no need for this though, guys. But you know what, to tell the honest truth though, the reason why I wanted to do, they decided that they were going to reconstruct the road. Now, I'm being a bit patient with the government, simply because pineapples, she got no fingernails. I'm not even sorry. She be having them hung up all over. Pineapples. Those are grown right here in Antigua. This resort is called Carlisle Bay Resort. And at Carlisle Bay Resort, this is one of the older hotels in Antigua. And 20 years in a row, 10 years in a row, just coming back over and over again. Oh, as a matter of fact, guys, that's my next yacht over here. That's one of my boats over there. Yeah. I loaned it to a friend of mine, and he told me he'll be sailing around the island. I said, Antigua on an annual basis for over 30 years, 20 years, 10 years. I don't know, they just love it here.
How much does that go for, you know?
I'm gonna tell you what Sandals go for, because I just had to take some get. This is the Calm Beach on this side. This is called Morris Bay on the Calm side.
Now, would this be like a public beach?
All beaches in Antigua are public. Could be on a hotel property. All beaches are public. Now, what you'll realize, guys, would grow out of, and this is government run. Now also, if you look right on top of the hill, what you'll see is a elevation tower with a lot of, and there's where a lot of people would go snorkeling and stuff like that over on that reef over there. That's called Cape Bay Reef though. Some areas are, I'm told, as shallow as 6 feet, and some areas as deep as over 100 feet. I definitely would never know because I like it. You know, just get a drink, take a photo, take a walk on the ocean, just take a nice look. You'll definitely like it. All right.
結構人がいるじゃん。だからこれあれなんじゃないの？あれなのか。じゃあ一回帰ってから連れてきてくれるっていうやつな。
そうだね。
合わないんだよね。いいかで。しょうがないよね。こんなとこでゆっくりしたらいいんだけどね。もうちょっと1時間時間あったらね。でも
いや、
2時間半って言ったよね。
なんかそのぐらい言ってたね。英語。
Miss Carter sent me a card to Chihuahua. He sits over the drop condo. Here. Who's that here? Go anyway to get something to eat.
Coast right now at the island right here. And that seawall that you see back there is the last hurricane we had. Area. If you look at those 5 small islands out there, the area adjacent to it named 5 Island. They have a village just adjacent to all those 5 islands, and the name of that section is called 5 Islands Beach. Coming up, I told you guys we have 365 beaches. There's a lot of beaches here in Antigua. Now, if you focus on the left for just a second, though, if you look and you see the section where the water is on this side, remember I told you that this road, or the road, we had a hurricane once, and this area got eroded, and so what happened is the water was so turbulent that it actually built the road on top of it. And that is why sometimes when the water gets a bit high, what it will do is make its way underneath the bridge. How much money? Tell me what you have. Okay. There's some small cottages by the name of Carlisle Bay Resort. Over here. Over there, Carlisle Bay Resort. And also this is the Valley Church Beach. Further down, we got everything down there though. It's real nice though. Real nice area. Nice beach and stuff down there. St. John's, precedingly. That is their medical center that I showed you early on. Your guy cruise ships is over there. That is how close we are to town. Can't miss the carnival tail at the top. And we definitely not at the beachfront. Vegetable stall here where somebody just in front of their home is just selling a couple of fruits, a couple of vegetables right there. Right here, straight out this yellow building, and there's a next stall right here where this building over here is the public market craft complex. Nice craft over here. This is the bus terminal over here. On the right, this is the public market complex. On the bottom floor is where you'll find all your fruits and your vegetables, and on the top floor or the second floor is where you'll find different shops and stalls. Further over down here is the Fisheries Department. You can get your conchs, your lobsters, your fish down there. displays of stuff. These individuals are not supposed to even be out here. They're supposed to be in the market. But because of competition, they just come and build a lot of stuff, and the government is hesitant in moving them for whatever reason. This is the fisheries complex. You could purchase dry ice for the fishermen. This right here is a public meat market. This is what I was telling you about early on, the start of the trip. This right here is the statue or the bust of the first Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, V.C. Bird. And this gentleman right here, he's selling coconuts, he's selling sugar cane. That's what he's selling right there. Bags of sugar cane right there, he peels them. He's not even supposed to be doing that there too though, but everybody have to survive though, you know, and sometimes that's part of culture. At the end of the day, once he cleaned that area up, you know, I'm satisfied with that though. Now we're actually on Market Street. You can see the display of different uniforms because all the students are making their way from school. School actually closed out at 1:30, and so they're making their way down, going to the bus terminal to go to their respectable destinations. All these are different uniforms. Now on this street here, Market Street, is what you'll find a lot of Syrians would own a lot of stores here. All these stores are actually owned by Syrians. One or two Antiguans. Now these individuals actually came to Antigua back in the 17th century when they were doing a lot of trade, and supposedly they set up shops like these, and even the name of this street originally was Scots Road because of the Scottish men who were actually here. And so you find that now that most of these properties are actually owned by Syrian. This building right here is the same 3-roof building that we saw early on. This building is itself. You know who to blame if there's any problem. You know, you could know who it is, who caused the problem, whatever the case may be.
They all look so neat though.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, as I said though, it brings in respect of, you know, not distinguishing who's rich and who's poor and who can afford and who can't afford. But the main fact of going to school is not to see who dresses well though, but for everyone to gain an education. That's the main purpose of going to school. And the Ministry of Tourism. For myself personally, I had an excellent time doing this tour today. I would like to thank you guys for 1, your patience, for 2, your cooperation, and for giving me the opportunity for selling my country and to tell you about the country that I love so dearly. Once again, I'd like to say a Happy New Year to each and every one of you, and do hope that the desires that you have in your heart would become a fruition in this year. Once again, thanks a lot. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Oh, and just to let you know, the shopping areas, basically with the vendors mall, if you want like souvenirs and stuff like that, you get it in this section right here. This area which says the vendors mall. And just remember the exchange rate once again. Now if you want duty-free shopping, if you want something to eat, on that side over there, everything is in walking distance. It's just further over there. Now if you want to have our shopping in terms of duty-free shopping, jewelry and anything of that sort, it's going to be in this area. This entire section right here is called the Heritage Key, and your cruise ship guys
足閉めてまた引っかかると思う。
まあでも今日はライドが得したからね。
買い物できなかったけどね。
買い物多分ないよ。
珍しいね、入らないとね。
これ入れます。
珍しいね、ハエが来るなんてね。
ハエがアップしないと。
よくこのとこまでハエが来たよね。
あんまり下の方になかったみたいな人
動き出した。
こ
いうの取り方するからね、生徒何も後取れないんだよ。で、いいとこばっかり取ったらね。
後ろのあんなのはあんまり良くない。後ろにへばりついてるループ。後ろのループ。ネタートループ。
後ろのやつね、いいルームはあるやつもあるけどね、大体ね、振動が多いよね。あるよ、後ろに一番いいやつ。
後ろつまんないね。なんかな。取り残されてる。
こう景色見るのもいいんじゃない？あなたとしてもおると思うやん。船がどっちもあるから、こっちもですよね。こっちもあるとしてね。すごいよね、もう大きなのを本当に書いて。